Good morning, walkers. I had to wait for a little bit there just to start talking because it's relatively early. It's about 5:45, 10 to 6, Friday the 14th of August. Decided to come out for just a little early fresh air walk before I start work today. Yes, oh my goodness, an English person's going to talk about how hot it's been, but bear with me. It's been, the last 2 days have been rather warm, so it was very warm last night. So I thought, as I'm awake, let's get out and do a little video. I know my videos aren't frequent, and again, I'm not sure how many people do or don't watch them or enjoy them, but I thought we'd get out this morning while it's early, as the sun is coming up. Again, for those of you in the unfortunate position where you can't get out, unable to get out, maybe it's too warm for you at the moment, or you're in a position where you're unable to leave your home. So I thought we'd come out this morning, we'd do a little lakes walk. I need to go and find some breakfast after this because some poor planning on my part. So I thought let's take the opportunity, get a little walk in. It's a lovely morning. You see the wildlife is very much waking up if I stop talking for a few minutes. You're here just as the road starts to wake up and my heavy-footed march across gravel. But there are birds in the background having a good morning trill, which is always nice to hear. But yeah, the last few days have been increasingly warm. It did have a bit of a lull for a little while, for a few days. I can very much vouch for these people that, I came back from northern France after a couple of days there, and the difference between hot weather and a hotel room with air conditioning to going back to a UK brick house with a tiny fan off of Amazon. It is very much different worlds. So I'm very much, I turned up into Lille. Normally it's very similar weather to the UK, and I've been there a couple of times. I've had rain, it's been chilly. I had to have a coat on sometimes in the summer, but I turned up and my first full day there ended up being 37 degrees. So a little unexpected, but very nice all the same. And then had some lovely cooler weather when I went and visited Dunkirk on the next day. Not at all what I was expecting in Dunkirk. When you get there with its history, it's like what a lot of English beaches, seaside towns, which they sometimes could be. Huge beach with people doing dance exercises, rows of cafes and little restaurants. And again, I'm not taking away from the history of it, and not all what I expected, but it was very nice. And had a little dip in the water. Went to a fantastic museum, the anniversary museum for Operation Dynamo, where all of the boats and ships and everything were sent out to rescue those off the beaches. Obviously the film Dunkirk, fantastic film, definitely worth checking out to learn more about that, because I will not try and disappoint you all with my poor lack of education on the history of those things. But fantastic museum. If you're ever in that part of the world, I do recommend going and checking it out, and it's not far from the actual seafront itself. So yeah, do check it out. Lovely to have a couple of weeks off. I say I had a few days in Lille in northern France, some time at home, ventured into the wonderful world of London at one point with my nephew and brother and friend, and as it was my nephew's birthday treat that he'd called in that I gave him back in April. Next year he's getting a book from Poundland. That got expensive, but a lovely day out in the aquarium on South Bank. Definitely worth checking out. Easily a nice way to spend an hour. Highly recommend it. It's also nice not to see my nephew run round it like he set some sort of land speed records like he has done the previous times we've been there. Just for have a little look at the lakes as the sun is coming up. Today just a little video, like I say, just while we're out and about. I hope everyone that is watching this, that is subscribed, hope you are all doing well. Hope you're not struggling too much in this weather. It's definitely been interesting in my 43 years living in this country. I've never known such a prolonged period of time with such high temperatures. It's actually quite rare, and I actually celebrated my birthday with no rain, thankfully, like the second time in the last 10 years being a late July birthday. But that was very nice. The ducks on their morning little pontoon, if you come down here early enough, they're always lined up, like they're waiting for the sunbirds to be released, and then they all come over because they think you're going to feed you, but I'm not, I'm afraid. Yes, I hope everyone is keeping well. Excuse my thing again, these are filmed as they are raw, they are uploaded raw, because it just shows you the nature of filming whilst you're out walking. And I could stop, start, edit these, but it's just showing you a real life walk. Like I said, it is not even 6 AM yet. I will stop talking for a few minutes to let you enjoy the view. I do very much think they think I'm here to feed them, but unfortunately not on this occasion. But those of you who aren't unfortunately able to get out and about and enjoy these early fresh mornings or enjoy the sunshine, I hope you're keeping cool. Hope you're following all the amazing advice that we're getting from the people in charge. You know, drink water, try and stay cool, and don't use disposable barbecues. All valuable, useful information that we're getting, and I'm sure it was all highly worthwhile them convening a meeting to tell us that. But all joking aside, hope people are staying refreshed and staying cool as much as they can. And my father is a big fan of the old flannel on the hedge, just to keep his temperature down. So unfortunately, just a few ailments. He does struggle to cool himself down. The old cold water on the wrists, the flannel on the head, seems to work for him. But try and find what works for you. Try and use and drink the water that we've got as we continue in these drought conditions. Some of you watching may remember 1976, and no, despite how I sound on this, I do not remember it. It was very much before my time. That is very much before my time. My mother was only 11 in 1976, just a little bit of context, despite my old sounding voice. But as I've said before, I sound a little bit different on these videos because I wear a hearing aid. I have hearing loss, and sometimes on videos I hear myself and I try and work out who that is, because I do sound very different to how I think I sound in my head. But yeah, some of you will remember 1976 when it got so bad. There were standpipes at the end of roads for people to go and collect water. People were putting bricks in their toilet cisterns, and we've been advised to share bath waters, and lots of fun activities to help save and preserve water. I'm sure many of you are collecting your shower water in your jugs and your washing up bowls to try and keep your gardens going. Or the British desert, as we're now soon fast approaching. We're British, we are what we are, we do carry on, we keep going, we make the best of the situation the best we can. But I'd like to send out there my condolences and sympathies to those who have been affected by this sudden increase in these wildfires set in the last 24 hours. Those poor people lost their homes very quickly, unfortunately, in some fires that did jump roads from the fields. We did have one local to us overnight, that due to the amazing work of the fire brigade and farmers and many others, they did get on top of. But I did just read that unfortunately a factory caught fire as well overnight. I don't know too many details because it is still early, but hopefully that was contained quickly and will be resolved. So yeah, please do be careful, do be safe. It is very dry, especially out in those fields where the crops and the grass have just been scorched, and they are very vulnerable to any spark of any kind. So yeah, do be careful, and my sympathies to those affected by them here and abroad. It's not just us getting affected by those. But obviously, like I say, it's the middle of August now, and hopefully we'll see a little change in the weather. Again, it's nice to have this for a change, enjoy it. Get a little bit of colour, a little bit of suntan on the skin before I'm sure that fades, and we are back to typical British weather. Although I do hope that we don't just suddenly get days and days of heavy rain like they did back in 76, because the ground just can't take it, and the last thing we need then is people being affected by floods, because the water table just can't be permeated due to the dry hard ground. Hopefully it will be a slow and steady showers and downpours when the time comes, but in the meantime we make the most of what we've got, we enjoy what we've got, and just be careful out there. The last few weeks of the school holidays, whatever people are up to with their children, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, etc. Hope you're all having a lovely time. Hope you're making the most of it. I know things aren't cheap out there at the moment. Hopefully people are finding ways to save money and entertain themselves. Do have a look online. Obviously there are a lot of companies that are offering cheap or free meals for children. There's always websites out there that are offering reduced and cheap cinema tickets and things like that. Highly recommend the new Spider-Man film. When I saw that last week when it came out, very good. Do recommend that if you are a Marvel or a superhero fan. So do check that out if you get the opportunity. But yeah, if anyone is watching this, then please do drop in the comments what you're up to, what you're enjoying, what you're doing, how you keeping cool, if you've been anywhere nice. I did go down to a place in the New Forest last weekend with some friends, and not been down there before. It was lovely, just a nice temperature to be walking. Sunshine was lovely, and just making the most of it while we can. Stopped for a lovely lunch. I think it was a little place in Bewley Village, just off the car park that we parked in before we walked down to our end destination. The name currently escapes me because I know you're all waiting for me to tell you where I went, and I'm having an utter blank at the moment. But it was very nice indeed. Lovely to do something different. New Forest is a lovely location. Again, unfortunately, was affected by a van or a lorry catching fire on the A31. So unfortunately, despite the best efforts of the fire brigade and local farmers and responders, did unfortunately do some damage to the grass. But hopefully they can get on top of that and get that sorted. And the poor farmers been absolutely destroyed this year. Farmers over here don't have the best of luck. It's either too wet, too dry. Their crops have been burnt off because it's too hot. There isn't enough respect or appreciation given to farmers in this country. They are providing food and all sorts to keep people in this country going, and I think sometimes people don't truly appreciate the hard work that goes into it. When you see your local farms, or even certain aspects of Clarkson's farm, just what they are doing, even growing materials for their own beer and things like that. Those of you who may or may not watch, I'm a big fan of Syndicate Tom, who's a YouTuber. Recently bought a farm a couple of years ago up just outside of Manchester, the 110 farm. They do check it out, have a look at their website, their Instagram. That's the 110 farm, 110 acres. They are currently trying to do all they can, so they're growing Mr. Robin, they are growing pumpkins and looking at other options. So I'm going to leave you all here. So just a little video, and say hope everyone is doing well. Hope you enjoyed this. So I will stop trying to put my finger in the lens. As I said, these are very much raw. I will try and do a few more videos in other locations when it does cool down, and I'll try and get those posted. But in the meantime, take care. Please do put stuff in the comments. Let's converse, and I'll speak to you again soon.